Oh yeah, that looks good. Oh hey, I was just kind of fixing myself up. Grandma has some friends coming over. Oh, look at Grandma bought me a nice little tie. That's very beautiful, pretty. Oh yeah, I don't. You probably don't like that style. It's very 70s, you psychedelic, But it's nice, it was a good thought for her. Hey, I was wanted to do a video today. A follow up on the whole Illuminati guys. Like I said, I have a whole Illuminati series that I wanted to do and break down into a little deeper, because when you say Illuminati, that's kind of a broad statement. I mean, it just kind of implies a ruling elite of people that are, of course, masters of the universe, and that. But it breaks down further than that, and just to show you that Bobby's been, really studying and, not just making jokes and having fun. Uh, I did a good job on that. Yeah, that's pretty good. But anyway, what I'd like to do is talk to you about that. Now, actually, there's five. That's 10. Five factions in the Illuminati. Uh, Ruling elite. So in other words, these guys aren't all on the same side necessarily. Like any power structure, of course, it's never just one group or one person. Not on a not on a planet with six some billion people. Of course, that's what they'd love. One guy wants to be in charge. That's obvious, and it's me. I want to rule the world. Oops. That's a little alter ego. That's not true. I don't, I don't rule anybody. I barely get out of this chair every day. So, but we all have our little fantasies and stuff. But that's not really my main fantasy. That's my second fantasy, actually. But anyway, there's five ruling elite people, factions. We call them factions, and this is information again that's on YouTube. You can find it a million places. But again, my goal here with these videos, people, is to again, I want to bring a little fun to the world. There's too much stress anyway, and yeah, this stuff's going on. But you know what? We don't have to stress out about it. I mean, we can have a little fun with it. If these people feed on fear, all of them. So part of becoming aware and getting through this whole process, this transition, is going to be able to overcome that fear. And what better way than to have a little fun and have open discussions and not take it too seriously. I mean, we outnumber them. I mean, my God, we're 6 billion people. There's only a few, some thousands of those guys. So come on, people, wake up. We can take it. We can handle it. But we got to do it together because ultimately the human race is one. We are one. We're a collective consciousness. I mean, I really start to believe that now. We're not really separate. Separation is an illusion. We're all together in this, and we can handle it. And actually, in a deeper sense, we kind of created this reality in mass, and these people that we call the evil ruling elite, they're there to serve a purpose, so that we learn a lesson, a process. So that's, if you think about it that way, it's not so bad. You're not a victim, because nobody's a victim. Come on, if you want to walk around and pretend you're a victim, and and that people take advantage of you, or you're a victim in some way, then they've won basically, because then you're not really who you truly are, which is a sovereign entity. So that's my little philosophy. I mean, you can believe what you want, but that's what I believe. But anyway, let's get down to the Illuminatis, and we'll break down some of the factions. And if you have any questions later, just doing a little comments down there, and let me know what you think of everything. And again, I appreciate you watching my little videos, and I'm trying to be prolific in the beginning and come out with some information for you guys, because I just want to be part of the whole thing, and I felt really left out just knowing all this stuff in my mind, and not being able to do anything was driving me crazy. I mean, I would literally walk around the house, bouncing off the walls like a little bubblehead madman. It was sick. And Grandma said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, "My mind, I'm and she would try to give me some of her drugs, of course, and took some, and I just ended up going to the bathroom and puked. It was horrible. I don't know what kind of crap they got her on, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, let's stop back to the ruling elites. The first faction that we can talk about is the Rothschild based Illuminati. The Rothschild based Illuminati. Now they overthrew the traditional European royalty, okay, and so those guys kind of started off over there, that particular faction. And they made, I think they're kind of kind of considered the Luciferians. You might have heard that term, the Luciferians, where they think the devil is the good guy. I mean, personally, I mean, God, devil, it's all a joke anyway. Hey, did you know that God is just dog spelled backwards? And, well, just go think. I mean, he's man's best friend. But anyway, they they're that's that side over there. The Luciferians, and they got their own little philosophy, and the devil's good, and they like to love him and kiss him, and stab, have ritual sacrifices and things like that. And you know what? Hey, each to their own. If that's the little party they want to have. Now the next faction is the Rockefeller guys. Those are the kind of the New World Order guys. They want to have this New World Order, and the Rockefellers and the Federal Reserve and Ben Bernanke and Greenspan and all those guys, and the Bushes and all these guys and the presidents. They're kind of the One World Order guys. They want to turn the world into one big corporation. Greenspan is the one of the top dogs, and I don't know who else they got ready to beat in depth. I guess Obama could be one of the main guy too, since everybody loves him. The whole world loves Obama. He's pretty cute. I mean, he's very sexy if you think about it, and he's very charismatic. And I liked Obama. I like him. I mean, I'm sure he's a fine guy and everything, but the whole left-right paradigm concept behind politics is a joke. It's an illusion. It's pure theater. I mean, the whole thing is pure theater. I mean, these people that I'm not into theatrics. Of course, me, theatrics. I'm a really straight shooting guy. Give me the truth. I don't need all the theatrics and stuff. I just want to know what's going on in the world. How we're going to feed the population. How, what are we going to do for industry power? Give me I don't need to watch the daily, days of our lives in politics and shit. It's crazy. Things are a little tight. But anyway, so that's the other Rockefeller base fat. I got and we'll talk about that in more detail. But let's just give you the five basic ones right now. And then you got another faction tied in there called the Knight Templars, and that's the Davidic bloodlines, and of course that's a whole nother story. And then I guess you got this new. Now this is another. Makes sense to me. They got this called this new international group. Well, it's Russia, Asia. These guys. Now I think Russia's probably the freest country left on the planet. I mean, they don't. From a ruling elite standpoint, they kind of just tore everybody up. And of course they got their big rocket missiles. It's very Freudian in its, phallic sense. Anyway, have you ever noticed that? We always got these big rockets and things that are shoving things up in things, and the steeples and the pyramids. It's crazy. We're all obsessed with the whole phallic. Oh God, let me shoot my rocket into you and blow you up. One big orgasmic explosion of madness. Crack myself up. Anyway, that's the Russia Asian, and they have their own little, secret societies. I tell you, I want to start my own little society. I don't think that many people would want to join me, but God, I'd love to have one. We could have our own little weapon systems. Some of my technologies I've been sharing with you, and we could have our own little phallic things with the guns and shoving things up people and stuff. But anyway, that's the new international group. So that's another faction, and of course the Middle East. They got their little factions too. And some very strange little belief systems. 72 virgins. If you blow yourself up, you get 72. Personally, 72 virgins. I mean, after about 3 or 4 virgins, I want something shoved up my, and a little experience. The virgins are great for the first 2 or 3. I'm not knocking virgins. I'm sure they're wonderful. I personally have never had one or any sex actually, for that matter. But I'm working on it, and I still have my other attributes. We won't get into that. But okay, so you have the Middle East guys. So we have all these different factions. The Middle East, the New International. You got the Rothschild faction, the Rockefeller faction, the Luciferians, the Neocons. So there's all these factions of these ruling bastards. And they all want a little. Well, they want the whole pie, but they're all fighting over pieces of the pie. And they all got their little places in the world. The Middle East has got their little place. We got the American, our little empire that we created, and Britain's got its little empire that said, and it's pissed off at the neocons because they're kind of trying to control us again. And I can't get into the details of the whole thing, but Jesus Christ, it's a cluster. It's a cluster. You know what? God, when people get power like that, they lust for it, and there's no end to their madness, And that's kind of why we're on shaky ground with this little reality, this little planet we call Earth here, because the rest of the universe is like, Jesus Christ, what are these people doing down there? They got a clue? I'm starting to wonder that myself, of course. But I hope that really helped. We're going to get it more into Illuminati, and I'll go more into detail about each faction as well. But I try not to give you too much information at a time, because what'll happen is it goes up in there, and it disturbs you, and you might not be able to sleep at night, and you're like, oh Jesus, what Bobby said this one, oh God, oh jeez, I just trying to make it to work in the morning. Do I have enough gas? And you don't want to be thinking about too much of this stuff at one time. So I'll get back to you on that, and we'll go back into that. Everything is more complex than it appears. Just remember that. Oh God, the universe is. Just anything you can imagine, it's there. Trust me. Take care, guys. I'll see you in a little while.